Converting a decimal to a proper fraction in simplest form. These are advanced problems. So what you want to do when you're writing a decimal as a fraction is all the numbers after the decimal, write them down. And then you want to make a fraction and always put a 1 underneath. Now the number of numbers that you had after the decimal, there were 2 numbers after the decimal, you make those zeros. So 2 zeros. So 53 over 100 actually does not simplify because 53 is a prime number. So that's the answer to that one. You always have to check and see if you can simplify them. Okay, so again, here's what we did. We took the number after the decimal and wrote it down, 58, with a 1 under it. 58 has 2 numbers, so I'm going to write 2 zeros. Okay, these are even numbers. So when they're even numbers, you can start simplifying just by cutting them in half. So half of 58 is 29, and half of 100 is 50. And 29 is a prime number, nothing goes into it, so that's done. So on this one, you want to write down what's after the decimal, but if we write down, well, let me just write it down like it is, 024. So write down everything after the decimal, just like this. Put a 1. Now I just wrote 3 numbers up there, so put 3 zeros. Okay, so at this point, we can, any zeros in the front don't count. So we can look at this as 24. Now we can divide these numbers by 2 because they're even numbers. So just take half of them. Half of 24 is 12, and half of 1,000 is 500. Well, they're still even, so you can cut them in half again. Half of 12 is 6, and half of 500 is 250. They are still even, so cut them in half again. Half of 6 is 3, half of 250 is 125. Okay, now I need to see if you can divide these by 3. A quick way to do that is take like 125, add those numbers all up. So 1 plus 2 plus 5. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 5 is 8. Now you can't do 8 divided by 3, so that means 3 won't go into this number either. So that's the final answer.